Hello and welcome to Catholic News Roundup. I'm Christine Niles. Today's January 24th, 2026. Here are this week's top stories. Shocking news from India. Hindu attackers forced a Christian pastor to eat cow dung. Earlier this month in Odisha, Pastor Bipin Naik was holding a prayer meeting when a Hindu mob crashed the event, dragged him away, beat him with sticks, and subjected him to humiliation rituals. According to his wife, quote, "My husband was tied to a Hanuman temple in the village. Both his hands were tied behind a rod. He was forced to consume cow dung and was bleeding badly. People were slapping him and forcing him to chant Jai Shri Ram, a chant praising a Hindu god." Local police seemed uninterested in investigating the case, taking nearly 3 weeks before finally detaining 9 of the attackers. Hindu radicals have routinely attacked Christians throughout India, falsely accusing them of forced conversions. And stateside, anti-ICE protesters who crashed a church service are now behind bars. Nakima Levy Armstrong, a ringleader of the group, was arrested Thursday.
They don't expect us to come there, and then we disrupt business as usual.
2 others have also been arrested. On January 18th, anti-ICE protesters entered City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota, accusing the pastor of being involved with ICE.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are your people? Why are you not at Whipple every day fighting for the humanity, standing for our people? Where are you?
Former CNN anchor Don Lemon was present at the protest, defending it.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution and the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
Turning to Gaza, President Trump has invited Pope Leo to join his Board of Peace. Vatican Secretary of State Cardinal Pietro Parolin made the comments Wednesday, confirming the pontiff is considering the invitation. Trump's Board of Peace will oversee reconstruction in Gaza and already includes high-ranking U.S. officials along with European and Middle Eastern countries, including Israel, even though its prime minister initially objected to the presence of Turkey and Qatar on the board. Trump also confirmed he invited Russia's Vladimir Putin to join, who is still considering the invitation. In Davos, board member Jared Kushner offered a vision for what he calls New Gaza.
In the beginning, we were toying with the idea of saying, let's build a free zone, and then we have a Hamas zone. And then we said, you know what, let's just plan for catastrophic success. Hamas signed a deal to demilitarize. That is what we are going to enforce. People ask us what our plan B is. We do not have a plan B. We have a plan. We signed an agreement. We are all committed to making that agreement work. There's a master plan. We'll be doing it in phasing.
Pope Leo has repeatedly spoken out on behalf of the suffering children in Gaza. The military archdiocese in the United States is saying that staff can disobey immoral orders. On Sunday, Archbishop Timothy Broglio spoke to the BBC, weighing in on the possibility of a U.S. military strike on Greenland.
But strictly speaking, he or she would be in within the realm of their own conscience would be morally acceptable to disobey that order. But
President Trump has since made clear he would not use military force.
I won't do that. Okay, now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force.
No more funding for research involving aborted babies. This according to the National Institutes of Health, which announced Thursday it would stop supporting all human fetal tissue research, instead opting for ethical alternatives. This comes a decade after pro-life activists David Daleiden and Sandra Merritt exposed Planned Parenthood's grisly sale of aborted babies' body parts, sold to fetal tissue research centers for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right here, see? Yeah. This comes out, like I said, the organs come out really, really well.
Right.
All the intestines.
Right.
Pretty much almost like
this is a big placenta right here.
Yes.
The United States has left the World Health Organization. It became official Friday, 1 year after President Trump signed an executive order to leave the group. According to a joint statement by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, quote, "The WHO abandoned its core mission and acted repeatedly against the interests of the United States." Going on to say, even on our way out of the organization, the WHO tarnished and trashed everything that America has done for it. The U.S.A., once the primary funder of the WHO, has since ceased all funding and staffing. And in some encouraging news, it was standing room only at a Manhattan Catholic church as people gathered for Eucharistic adoration. Saturday was packed at Our Lady of Good Counsel Church on the Upper East Side as New Yorkers attended Catholic Underground, a monthly event hosted by the Franciscan Friars of the Renewal. The night begins with silence and adoration of the Holy Eucharist, followed by music and fellowship in a separate hall. Confession is also available. Hundreds, including young families, regularly attend. That is the way to turn this world around. All right, that is this week's Catholic News Roundup. Please go to stellamars.media to sign up to our email list for the latest news and updates. And thank you so much for watching. May God bless your week, and please pray for us because we are right in the middle of this ice storm. I'd appreciate your prayers. I'm Christine Niles.